Hello, this is Eve, author of Detox with Ease, how to eliminate about 90% of the chemicals from your body easily. I had a very severe chemical sensitivity and multiple chemical sensitivity, so all chemicals would pretty much make me very sick, and supposedly an incurable illness, a very chronic illness, much like other chronic illnesses, very hard to heal. And I healed mine through detoxing and other methods. So I'm going to make more videos. I haven't made any in a few years because since I'm well, I'm out doing other stuff now. But I'm going to make a series of videos, all unedited, and I'm not a professional video maker, so you'll just have to go with it and get some good information out of it as you can. I want to talk about healing the lungs because I got an email from someone today, and I get that email a lot. So when I was sick, I developed asthma and chemical trigger asthma, and I also had like a pain in my lung almost every day when I woke up, and usually throughout the day have this pain in the back of my lungs, and I had a cough. I coughed, every few minutes. And even though I went to the doctor, they said, "Oh, you're so healthy, go home." So I didn't have, if you don't have something like emphysema or, like a very obvious problem, then you're healthy. But I was not healthy. My lungs were not healthy. It was terrible. I've always had great lungs. I've always been healthy. And then, one day I just stopped breathing. And that's been quite a few years since I had asthma. I used to have to, carry around the inhaler because the doctors did know how to give me that, but they didn't, know how to say anything about my lung situation. And also I could tell the oxygen in any room or place where I was. So I was very, my lungs weren't getting enough oxygen, so it was very sensitive. Like if a room didn't have good air in it, I would be, I wouldn't feel comfortable in it. In my house, I had the windows open, like every window for about a year. And, but now I can have my windows shut open. I'm pretty much like a normal person. Although I don't want to get in a room with a bunch of toxic chemicals and breathe them in, just because I know what it can do. So I want to give you some quick tips for restoring your lungs. They can be healed and they can be regenerated. The lungs are a detox organ. People a lot of times just think of the liver as a detox organ, but the lungs, the skin, the kidneys, and the liver, those are the main detox organs. So every time you exhale, you're actually exhaling toxins from your body. So when you heal your lungs, you're really healing a lot of your body, and you're getting into like a really good state of detox. And I do believe the main way to do that is through, at least in my case, was through breathing exercises. And the kind that I did was I started doing yoga. I can't just sit there and breathe and count. I would get too bored, and I would, I just can't do it. But I can do yoga. So I know in yoga they're always saying, breathe and do different things with your breath. So anytime somebody tells me to breathe, that's really good. And I was doing Kundalini yoga, which involves a lot of this breath of fire, which is a very good detox. And I actually have a program. I do daily yoga on Skype. You can do it with me. And the hard part is getting to figure out how you can do yoga. I was so chemically sensitive, I couldn't go in the yoga studio. I never used one of those mats. They're full of PVC, and I didn't like to be in the room with other people who had laundry detergent and all that. So I developed this thing just doing it in my home, which is great. So breathing, and the reason for that, one reason is my illness a lot was caused by sort of PTSD, which has your body in sort of a permanent anxious state. Not permanent, but your baseline is more anxious than is healthy. So, and that includes in the PTSD, in the fight or flight stress response, you're breathing real shallow because your body is giving the signal, breathe shallow. You don't need to relax, because breathing deeply actually relaxes you. So breathing shallow kind of gives you that energy and gets you ready for running away from that lion or whatever is the reason we have that in our body. So over time, my ribs actually weren't very flexible. Somebody pointed this out to me, and it was very, very great information. He says, oh, your ribs are kind of stiff, you know? So it's like all other joints. If you're not stretching them and working them, they're going to stiffen up. So I started breathing, and when we breathe, we expand our lung capacity, we expand our rib cage, and we have a whole different physiology. So the more we breathe, the better our breathing is. And just want to throw in there any other kind of exercises you can do with your rib cage and your upper body. Very good for your breathing. So I started doing this breath of fire and other breathing exercises, and you know, after a while, my lung problems are gone. The issue with real healing is that it takes time and effort, and you have to kind of put the work in and find ways that you can enjoy it. And, you know, that's actually the hard part. Let's see, lungs. Also, a major thing for the lungs is make sure you're not breathing in toxins. So there's many lung irritants. So many people have asthma, and they don't realize, oh, it's caused by lung irritants, because for some reason, the chemical companies have this sort of, they really manage to kind of suppress all this information about this stuff actually being bad for you. But it's really bad for you. I mean, you can read it. The information is all there. But it's not in the minds of people. It's not in the minds of your doctor, you know, because everybody's so used to always being around chemicals all the time and breathing in. We think it's normal unless it's something that's going to make us pass out immediately. But it's those day-to-day toxins that are building up that are hurting us. So you can get rid of, you know, air fresheners, cleaners, chemical cleaners in your house, anything that has a scented, you know, that fresh scent that you're breathing in is actually very toxic, and the longer and stronger that scent is, the worse it is for you. I can explain that in another video why that is, but it's not good for your lungs. And so you want to make sure, even dust isn't good. There's a lot of toxins and pollutants in dust. You want to keep your house dust free. And you want to use laundry detergent that's natural. You can just use baking soda or even a little dish soap, natural dish soap, or you can buy natural laundry detergent, but don't get that Tide free and clear. It's full of toxins. It might not hurt your lungs, but it will hurt the rest of your body. So don't bother with that, because it doesn't have the scent. You know, the unscented is better, but just use the natural stuff. So once you stop breathing all that stuff in, over time, your lungs are going to be able to repair, and you're going to feel so much better. So between just doing breathing and get rid of lung toxins and irritants, you're going to be doing well. And also find ways to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the relaxation response, which is the opposite of the stress response. So there's a thing you can do besides just relaxing and enjoying your life as much as you can. There's times where you can actually stimulate these relaxation chemicals, which does a lot of repairing to all of your organs. And meditation is a big way to do that. There are other ways. I do different kinds of meditation. Could be prayers, meditations. I do yoga, and then I do visualization. I'd like to do visualization because then you get to get things. You know, I would like visualize this new car, you know, and I did get the car, so that would motivate me to keep doing that, and I still do it to this day, though not so much. And I do it online with people. So there's lots of good different kinds of meditations on YouTube. You can do any kind that you like. But you get into that relaxed state, and when you're in that relaxed state, your body is repairing. So there are herbs good for the lungs. I know mullein is very good. Rosemary's great. There's so many things that are good for your lungs, and your lungs can repair. Don't let the doctor just say there's nothing you can do, and you know, start taking time out to get breathing. Also, being in nature is very healing for the body. And I have some videos on that too, grounding and earthing. I think that's a pretty good tip. If you actually do that for a while, your lungs are going to change. My lungs are totally fine. I never even think about them anymore, which is great. You know, my lungs are like a 90-year-old woman chain smoker. You know, before I was hurting. Sometimes my voice would even be really low, like I'd been out partying all night or something, but I hadn't, of course. So that's it. I do classes, I do consulting. I'm very good at troubleshooting things that might be hurting your health. And I'm also good at motivating people in ways to help them get well, because you have to find your proper motivation. Like, how am I going to do yoga every day? That's not that easy. Everybody would be doing it if it was, but you know, we're too busy, or the place makes us sick, or we're too weak, or we have a physical problem, or we can't fit into our yoga clothes. What, you know, there's so many like obstacles, and they all have an answer. There's always a way, and we just have to figure that out. So that's all. I have my book is on my website. It's on Amazon, Detox with Ease, and it's half the price if you want to get an ebook on my website. My website has a lot of helpful information for detoxing your body, and it's detoxthebodymcs.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye.